Hey everybody, it's Amanda again. I had some thoughts about all the different themes I'm noticing, anything that comes up several times in personal readings for people, or my Monday channelings. Anyway, so this has been sort of running in the back of my head, and I thought I would just share with you guys in case it helps anybody. So the first thing that I want to say is like the most recent thing, and that is that there are things that we want to find out, and I think we're used to reading books, reading articles, watching YouTube videos to get all of our information. And the theme that I'm seeing right now is that we now have other people to ask live and talk to. We want to talk to other people and connect with other people. And there's this underlying theme of cooperation. Like, we're all here. We all are, in various stages of awakeness, as they call it. And there are groups of, people you can talk to or chat with or text back and forth. And I feel like there's a lot of encouragement for us to do that. So if there's something that you need, first would be like, ask yourself, what do I need? And then ask yourself, where's a good place for me to post or ask this? I'm thinking more like specifically Facebook groups, like spiritual groups or awakening groups. Anyway, so we have to figure out where's the best place for me to ask this question and get help. It reminds me of a TED Talk, I think. This woman was talking about how she started a group of people, and it was kind of like a support group. I mean, we do kind of need a support group for the spiritually awakened. We need people to talk to that we feel like understand us and understand our particular challenges in this time. So, and I did this yesterday. I asked I went to the biggest group I could think of. There's so many people in that group. There's like 85,000 people in that group. Because I'm just having this challenge of like, I'm torn between working with the existing schools and trying to get my kids, I don't know, it's a weird balance. It's not balancing very well, but I'm trying. I keep trying. And I was so frustrated that I posted there, like, what do I do? Where do I look? How do I find out a school for my kind of kids who, are more light worker type, more starseed, crystal children, whatever you want to call them. And I got so many great responses and so many supportive comments, and I really felt understood, which I don't get from just like, in my everyday life. There's, I don't have a bunch of awakened people. I have a bunch of people who are raised in this system, and their beliefs conform to that system, and that wasn't helpful to me. So anyway, so that's an example. So there's this underlying theme of all of us need to come together and cooperate and help each other. And it feels good. I mean, when you feel like you need help, it feels really good to help somebody else, and it kind of gets the energy moving, and you don't feel stuck or helpless or alone anymore. So I thought that's my current theme this week. I don't know how everybody else is doing, but that's my big one. Another theme recently was this theme of having to take a minute every once in a while, or at least once a day. I'm having to do it several times a day if I can remember. But when my thoughts get chaotic and I start to get upset, I'm out of observer mode. I'm in reaction mode. So they're recommending that we just take a minute, take a breath. And even my husband recommended, like, put your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and think of the people you love, the things you love, and the thing that was recommended in channeling, for me personally, was find yourself, find your real self. It's in there. If you close your eyes and shut out your physical reality, where are you really? Tap into that. Tap into that feeling of, where's the real me? Where's the real me that doesn't care what other people think, doesn't have to conform to anything, doesn't have to live in the 3D life, doesn't have to pay bills, doesn't have to worry about this, that, or the other. Where is that part of you? Find that part of you, even if it takes 30 seconds. Find it, take a breath, connect to that, and you will feel better. So that's what, if I can remember to do that, I really should set alarms to find myself every hour or something. That would probably help. Here's another cool thing that they said. So that was kind of a tool to help us. Another tool they mentioned was monitor your intuitions. So when you get an intuition about something, write it down, and then write down, did you act on it? Did you not act on it? And what happened if you acted on it or if you didn't? So, and in that way, you can kind of get a feeling for which intuitions are spot on and which intuitions maybe you misinterpreted, or that wasn't really an intuition, that was an egoic thought or something like that. But they're saying if you monitor that, if you monitor when you get that intuition and whether you act on it or not, and what happened if you acted on it or you didn't act on it, then we can kind of hone our skill at interpreting that inner voice, as opposed to the ego or the reactive part of us that's trying to keep us protected based on all the things we were raised to believe. And then the last thing is that I thought was interesting is they keep talking about this something in quotes. It's they called it an interactive energy field. So it's like everything between us and everything else. And it might as well be the air because it's all the space in between everything. And there's this energy that we're all connected to, but we know this, but this brings it down to a sort of a 3D or 4D way of trying to bring it into the physical way of thinking. So there's this something, and we're connected to it. And when the collective gets upset about something, it's in that energy that's touching us. It's interacting with us. So what we can do when we start to get this, feeling of, oh gosh, what's happening? There's nothing in my life that's making me upset, and all of a sudden I'm upset. And I don't know why. It's not me. It's got to be something else. Sometimes it is you, but most of the time I'd say we get this wave of junk that comes over us, and what they said in the channeling was you can set an intention not to allow that to influence your emotions. You can instead intend that your state of being, when you feel really good or you feel really positive, influences that energy, and that goes out to all the other people, and that calms the collective. I mean, it's not something you have to do, but just that awareness that you can influence this energy that you can't see, or actually some people can see it. I'm not one of those who can see it yet. Anyway, it's there apparently, and we can just set the intention I'm not going to be affected by the emotions of the collective. If you don't want to. If you want to, if you're one of those who likes to process that stuff for the collective, that's awesome, and thank you. I appreciate the work you're doing, and I know there are a lot of people out there doing that. But I, for one, have got a lot going on trying to process in other layers of this physical reality. So I'm going to choose for now not to process or interact with the collective energy when it gets really dark, and it does get dark at times. I mean, everything's coming up to the surface, so everybody can see it, not just those who are awake and know it's there and know there's all this stuff going on under the surface that nobody talks about. Well, it's all coming out so everybody can see it, and once everybody is aware of it, then we can make these changes. But if it's influencing you negatively and you can't handle it, just set the intention. I am not going to let the what they call it, interactive energy field affect me. I am going to maintain my positivity. I'm going to maintain my own focus on what I need to focus on. Anyway, and that's that, I guess. You set the intention and remind yourself, I guess. So maybe set, I used to have an app that would ring a little gong every hour, once an hour, and remind me to take a breath. Just take a deep breath. I really need to put that, I need to find that again, put it back on my phone, and not just take a deep breath, but also remind myself to find myself, take that few seconds to find the real me, take a breath on that, connect, and then also to set the intention that the collective energy is not going to affect me. I'm going to maintain my focus. Yeah, that sounds good. Anyway, that's all for now. I've got another, I really want to post a clip from my Patreon Q&A. It was about the three types of processing we're doing right now or something like that. I can't remember precisely, but if I can figure out how to edit the video and just grab that clip, I will do that and post that too. Hope y'all are having a good week so far, and yeah, sending you lots of love. Hang in there if you're not doing so well. If you're doing great, thank you so much for holding the space for everybody else. I love y'all so much. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.